Hello, everyone. We are doing orientation after orientation after orientation. Today, four of us from Team Vallath. How is that? We have paper one, paper two, both being discussed for WB set. Hey, WB set is going to be in December, I hear. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes. Ankita Ganguly and Rishati Das Gupta are going to explain to you in Bengali about WB set. Hey, Jobin, I
Hello,
think
ma'am.
we have more Bengalis in our team than Malayalis or
Yeah,
anybody here.
yes, we have.
I think Vallath is undergoing a Bengal renaissance.
Maybe.
So WBZ has more or less the same syllabus and style as NET. But like Ankita is saying, our set exams are like baby steps. And after that, NET. So be prepared to write all set exams. Some of you were asking me today, can people from other states write set of another state? Of course you can. You can go to all over India, wherever you want and write set. But in Kerala, if you come, you will have to have B.Ed also because Kerala set is a little different.
Yes.
Yes. Jobin, everybody is eager to talk about WB set and PYQs.
Yes,
Over to
ma'am.
you because we start with paper one.
Yes, ma'am. So, as paper one, as we discussed in the last orientation of KSET, it is same as the net syllabus what we have for paper one. It's teaching aptitude, research, 10 units are there. Research aptitude, ICT, communication, mathematics, data interpretation, logical, people development and environment, higher education, and we have a comprehension passage. Okay, so from all these parts, as we saw in the KSET exams, the questions are direct ones, and also they will ask the terms related one, the basic concepts they will ask. So if you study the basic concept, it is easy to solve. Data interpretation, maths, it's all very easy to solve and all. Like we will look to some PYQs and have an idea about that. So to the first question, like you can see, it's a question from the research aptitude it is. So it's a identify the non-probability sampling technique from the following. So easy, like for net we study probability sampling, non-probability sampling by names we study. Like it's very easy to take the answer from this. Like it's a D that you have. Purposive sampling is a non-probability one. That is the answer. So going to the next one. Obstacles which distort the meaning of a message in a communication are termed as basic communication level question. Basic one, you need to identify the barriers of communications. You need in net also you study in communication, you study about the barriers, different types of barriers. You have semantic, deficient, language, and structural barriers. Obviously, the answer will be answer A, that is semantic barriers. Okay. So going to the next question. Which of the following maximizes the learning environment in educational institutions? So it may be a question related with the teaching aptitude. You can, because like when it comes to the pedagogy or counseling, like when you relate with the options, it can be related with teaching aptitude and as well as higher education. So which is the following that is like which maximize the learning environment? That is actually it's engaging pedagogy, formative evaluation, career counseling, ethical grounding. Like to the most apt option we will mark, like it's easy that when you read the options it's easy, it's formative evaluation. The answer is formative evaluation, that is you have. Yeah. So in all those things what you want to check is like we'll be having some of the match the following questions. When I check thoroughly through the like WB set in the last previous years, they have some match the following questions, but they didn't ask statement level questions and all. They have matched the following questions, but direct, that's also is a direct level questions. In a certain code, it's a coding level, and actually it is from the logical reasoning part. The logical reasoning part, they are not asking syllogism or fallacies, square of oppositions, or Indian logic, anything to a higher level that is asked in the net. Logical reasoning, they are asking like a reasoning level, like actually word type, verbal reasoning, and also figure reasoning. They are asking only that sort of answers are coming. I think the option Z goes for the correct answer here. Like you can check where how it is works and how it works and all that. Next one. So it's a number series. That's actually from the mathematical part that you have to study. And also reasoning part, like mathematical reasoning and aptitude is the portion given. So obviously it is from the mathematical reasoning part, 2, 15, 41, 80, and what is the next number? Like we have done many number series questions. Like I think I started the YouTube live session with ma'am with the number series. I do remember now. So that is actually like we have done many of the number series questions in the YouTube live session. So we have these things in the YouTube, and we will be doing. So this is actually when you take the common difference, it is 13. The multiples of 13. The next number will be 132. We can check it. The next number will be 132. The answer, yeah. And to the next question. NEP 2020 recommends the following functioning for the General Education Council: academic standard setting, standards, rules and regulation. Yeah, NEP 2020 is a must short question in net. Obviously, it will be asked in WB set, K set, and all those things, because like higher education, we have to study NEP 2020. As it's like as it is a current affair related to the education, but obviously it will be asked in the higher education. The answer goes with A, academic standard setting is the answer. Next one is with the state of being, like it's with the ICT. This is the basic, like, you need to know about the basic terms of ICT. That's all. Like in case at what we have like identified that basic terms of ICT, the same thing they will ask. A state of being constantly connected to technology, whether it is through computer, smartphone, or other digital device, it is called digital slavery. This digital slavery. The answer is D, digital slavery. So coming to the next one, non-fossil fuel from the part of people, development, and environment. You should study all those things, but you can see that these are all basic questions that we have, not the like what statement level questions or match the following, like what it is asked for the net. But so it is a basic level. So if you study what is a fossil fuel, non-fossil fuel, you will get the answer. The answer is uranium, B. Yeah. So the next one, how many squares and rectangles? This also comes under the reasoning part. Actually, I told you in the logical reasoning part, they don't ask the like direct question, like exactly the higher levels of logical reasoning where they have fallacies, syllogism, square of oppositions. But in K set, I have seen syllogism, but in WB set, mostly the reasoning part, the reasoning aptitude parts come like this, how many squares. And we have some certain formulas also for this. Okay, we will deal with this when we come to the revision part and like classes. And the answer is 10, C. We'll go with the option C, 10. Yes. And like it is, if P is equal to Q, this is a ratio and proportion question from the mathematics part. And it was like data interpretation also will be asked in ratio part. Like when I checked the last WB set exam, the data interpretations was given in table, and also there was a line graph data interpretation. This is from maths part. The answer is 16:45. This is from the ratio and proportion part. So basically, like this is a basic question. If you know the basics of ratio and proportion, you can easily get this answer. That is what. Okay. So what all things what we are studying for? Like if you are obviously you are having a course like at Vallath in net exam. Obviously, you can pass all these cases at WB set and all. So as ma'am said, if you join for this is a first step for the net. Actually, you study all the basic concept. You will clear with the basic concept, then go to the higher level. You can pass net exam also. That is all. So I
Another
think
advantage of our WB set and K set courses is that they can do the same net course in a smaller way, in an easier way.
yes,
And that will help them big time. Instead of going over it very tediously,
yes,
it is easier.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So let us go into paper 2 questions now. What do you say?
Yes.
Ankita and Rishadi, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody is eager to see paper 2 questions now. Rishadi, will you be able to read the first one, please?
Okay. Which among the following is a dystopic novel? The options are Erevan, Island, New Atlantis, or The Handmaid's Tale. So, dystopian novels is a very recurrent question in WB set. We have questions on Brave New World by Aldous Huxley or Clock by Orange by Anthony Burgess. So, the answer to this question is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood.
I'm sure Ankita would like to speak more about Handmaid's Tale.
Yes, so it's a very popular novel by Margaret Atwood, which is set in the near future of New England, and the society we see that is essentially patriarchal, and it's a totalitarian regime is going on, which has overthrown the United States government. So we see a complete anarchy. Dystopia or dystopic novels, they show situations which are completely anarchic, right? So when it comes to such novels, please be very careful about the themes these novels talk about. And even the thing is, I appeared for WB set last time and I qualified it. So one thing I would like to tell you about these genres is, we do look up these genres like science fiction, dystopian novels, cli-fi, and so these genres are very, very important. Like last time also we asked about cyberpunk novel, science fiction novel. So please be very careful about the recent works or the recent novels which have been written on these genres, like post-humanism, mourning, post-humanism, melancholia, death. These are very important. The idea of the Anthropocene, these ideas are very, very important for WB set. Please, stay updated about the recent works, be it theoretical or fictional. Do look up these works, and we will also bring up sessions on this.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ankita. Now we have a question from 20th Century Criticism. Who wrote The Great Tradition? Is it F.R. Lewis, Raymond Williams, Derrida, or Harold Bloom? As you might know, this is a very important book from 1948. The Great Tradition is written by F.R. Lewis, the Cambridge critic. He inspired the new critics and the modernists. And he said that George Eliot, Jane Austen, Joseph Conrad, and Henry James, they are the writers of the Great Tradition in England. F.R. Lewis is a question that they recurringly ask in NET and SET. All exams, he's a favorite of the question paper setters.
He also discussed Hard Times by Dickens in that. That is a connected question. That was also asked. Okay.
Over to you, Rishti.
Who wrote Principles of Geology, which hugely impacted Victorian literature? Is it Charles Darwin? Is it Charles Lyell? Is it Herbert Spencer? Or is it John Keble? And the correct answer is Charles Lyell.
Yeah, he is a geologist. He influenced Charles Darwin and Tennyson. Many writers of the Victorian period wrote about evolution, and Charles Darwin published Origin of Species in 1859. So Charles Lyell is associated with all that. They have asked this question in NET also earlier. Ankita?
In T.S. Eliot's The Westland, the line "that Shakespearean rag" has been taken from which work? From a popular song by Jean Bach and Herman Ruby, taken from Tristram Shandy, from Shakespeare, Our Contemporary by Jan Cott, or from a Harvard University production of Shakespeare's King Lear. So, a line to kotha theke newa hoyeche. So, just something in Bengali. Yes.
Ankita is speaking Bengali and feeling shy.
This line has been taken from a song by Jean Bach and Herman Ruby. So, popular culture references, very important, like we saw this time in NET as well. Please stay updated about the movies, like the movie adaptations which have been taken from works of literature, the popular songs, plays, even popular TV soaps and serials, which are influenced by any popular figure of literature or literary works. Very, very important.
This is also an example of literary allusion and cultural juxtaposition, because you're using a song. And it also highlights the contrast between the high art and so-called low art, which was prevalent during that age, but Eliot is breaking that and bringing in a ragtime, which is a more popular culture.
Right. So in which of her books does Julia Kristeva introduce the idea of the abject? The abject is an important term which refers to the othering, the feeling of revulsion that the mainstream has for the other, and it was in Powers of Horror that she talked about it. The other options are desire and language, revolution and poetic language, the abject, and the horrible. Julia Kristeva was a student of Roland Barthes, and she was a feminist, post-colonial theorist, and culture studies theorist who talked about a lot of areas that pertain to our culture. And she has also introduced other concepts like Cora, genotext and phenotext, intertextuality, etc. She is also a favorite of the question paper setters.
And
Geeta?
the full title of Powers of Horror actually gives away the answer also. The full title is An Essay on Abjection, which was published in 1980. And it explores the concept of abjection and its relation to psychoanalysis, literature, culture.
That's
And
right.
when we're talking about literary theory and the various theorists, it's very important to note that we generally tend to read about their very famous aspects, like she's a feminist, she's a philosopher. But we need to know that Julia Kristeva is also a famous theologian. Not famous, we can say, but she also wrote about theology. She wrote about various figures of saint, like Saint Teresa of Avila. So she has also written about theology. So please do look up the unknown or not so popular aspects of their works as well. Okay, next question. The fugitives and the agrarians are linked to what? New criticism at Yale, new criticism at Vanderbilt University, Chicago Aristotelians and new criticism, or new historicism at Berkeley. So they were associated with new criticism at Vanderbilt University.
Yes, and the fugitives and the Southern agrarians, they are the American new critics. Vanderbilt is in the South. They are from the American South. They pursue values of the old South before the Civil War.
It's in Tennessee, South America.
Yeah, Tennessee. Rishati?
Who among the following called the novel The Bright Book of Life? Is it James Joyce? Is it Virginia Woolf? Is it D.H. Lawrence? Or is it Aldous Huxley? It is D.H. Lawrence who called the Bright Book of Life in the novel.
No, it was in an essay, I think.
It was in an essay.
In the essay, Why the Novel Matters.
Yes.
Yes.
And this question was also asked in NET before. Yes. The Murders in the Rue Morgue was written by Dash. When you see murders, you will think it could be either Conan Doyle or Edgar Allan Poe, or Agatha Christie or Wilkie Collins, because all of them wrote sensation novels, detective novels, mysteries. But you must know this was the first detective novel in the world, and it was written by Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe also created a detective. What is the name of the detective?
Auguste C.
Dupin. Right. Angita, would you like to explain this one?
Which poem among the following is not by Nissim Ezekiel? Knight of the Scorpion, Silaute, The Patriot, or Minority Poem? So here option B is the answer, because it's a poem by Adil Jussawala, not by Ezekiel. The other three poems are by Nissim Ezekiel.
Very good. Adil Jussawala was a Parsi poet. K.K. and Daruwala, Adil Jussawala, K.D. Katrak, and Gieve Patel. They were the four Parsi poets famous. Rishati?
Shelley's Adonis was written in memory of, is it Wordsworth, is it Milton, is it Byron, or it's Keats? It is Keats. Adonis is a very famous work by Shelley, and it was dedicated to Keats actually.
Yeah, 1821, the year in which he died. Ankita?
The poetry of Dylan Thomas strongly reflects the elements of Dash. Was it surrealism, futurism, vorticism, or impressionism? So obviously it is impressionism, because his poetry had elements of neo-romanticism. It was neo-romantic in style. So obviously it was impressionism.
There is a problem here because he was also a surrealist poet.
Actually, yes, this question.
Yeah. If you use this question, if it comes, I would say we should say surrealism. Because all these were there, mixed up. But it is also surrealism. Yes. Who wrote a seminal treatise on Dalit aesthetics, covering also the imagery and idioms appropriate for conveying the Dalit experience? Is it Arjun Dangle, Sharan Kumar Limbale, Kancha Ilaya, or Sharmila Rage? A seminal treatise on Dalit aesthetics. Towards the Dalit aesthetics, where he says Dalit literature should not be judged along the lines of mainstream aesthetics. It is Sharan Kumar Limbale.
And it was originally published in Marathi, which was termed as Dalit Satyachi Saundaryastra. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It was originally written in Marathi and then published in English as Towards an Aesthetics of Dalit Literature, History, Controversy, and Considerations by Sharan Kumar Limbale.
New historicism was fundamentally influenced by Dash. Ankita, would you like to read and explain?
So was it Marx, Henri Lefebvre, Derrida, or Foucault? So obviously it was Foucault who introduced this movement of new historicism.
Foucault talked about archaeological approach to history. Archaeology is not a continuous history, but fragmented history. History that talks about the documents, not about the overarching story of history. So that is why Foucault's ideas influenced New Historicism. Because New Historicism also understands history as not a grand narrative, but as influenced by so many elements of culture and history as discontinuous. Rishiti?
There are two statements, assertion and reason. You have to choose an option from below. So the assertion part is Western post-feminism entirely rejects the 20th century feminist movement as being entirely without value. That is the assertion. And the reason part says Western post-feminism finds the contemporary Western women to be independent and empowered consumers. What do you think? Is it both A and R are correct? And R is the correct explanation of A? Or is it both A and R are incorrect and R is not the correct explanation of A? Or is it A is true, R is false? Or is it A is false, R is true? That is the correct answer. A is false, like the assertion. Western post-feminism entirely rejects the 20th century feminist movement as being entirely without value. That is not correct. That is false. Whereas the reason which has been provided that Western post-feminism finds the contemporary Western women to be independent and empowered consumers is true. So hence, D is the correct answer.
Okay, good. So we have come to the end of this discussion. I hope you have enjoyed looking at the PYQs. We'll bring you more PYQs. Ankita will be doing whole courses based on PYQs to help you prepare for all the upcoming exams. But I really wish you would also take one of our courses because it will help you with so many exams. It is not just one exam we teach you for, it is for many exams, isn't it, Jobin?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think we should encourage our students to try out our courses because it will be a really great investment and asset to your careers. Okay, so thank you very much. Bye-bye from all of us.
Bye. And people from Bengal, if you are joining, you will get guidance in Bengali also. Don't worry, we are a team of many Bengalis.
Yes.
So, অনেকেই আছে, সবাই আছে, আমরা পাশে আছি।
That's too good.
তোমরা এখানে জয়েন করলে দেখা হবে আমাদের সাথে, সো জয়েন করো তাড়াতাড়ি।
I am tongue-tied. I have nothing to say. Okay, bye. Good night. Shubh Ratri.